What would you do if you made a huge mistake? A mistake so big that all your friends were angry with you? Would you hide under your bed and never come out? Or would you be brave enough to face the problem, even if you were scared? Well, let us find out what a kind merchant named Abū Safwān did when he found himself in the biggest trouble of his life. Once upon a time, in a land of bustling markets, there lived a kind man named Abū Safwān. He was a merchant known far and wide for his honesty. Everyone who knew him loved him because he was always truthful and fair. Abū Safwān was like a shining star in the market, his smile as bright as the sun and his words as sweet as honey. One day, Abū Safwān wanted to buy a large amount of wheat to sell and earn a living. But oh no, he didn't have enough money in his little coin pouch. So, he went to his merchant friends and asked them for a loan, promising to pay them back with their share of the profits after he sold the wheat. His friends trusted him completely and gave him the money, their eyes twinkling with trust and friendship. Abū Safwān took the money and went to buy the wheat, his heart full of hope and excitement. But sadly, the men he was buying from were tricksters. They took all his money and ran away without giving him a single grain of wheat. Poor Abū Safwān! His world turned upside down in a blink of an eye. Abū Safwān returned home, his heart heavy with sadness. His little daughter saw his sad face and asked, "What is wrong, father?" He replied with a broken voice, "My world has fallen apart, my daughter. I was cheated and they took all the money. The worst part is that it wasn't just my money, it was a loan from my friends." Abū Safwān felt so ashamed that he locked himself in his house, no longer going out or opening his shop. He was like a little turtle hiding in its shell, too scared to come out and face the world. Days went by and his friends began to wonder, where is Abū Safwān? He is very late. We haven't seen the wheat or our money. Doubt crept into their hearts and they started to think that maybe he had run away with their money. Oh, how wrong they were. Meanwhile, Abū Safwān was at home, filled with sorrow and fear, not knowing what to do. His kind daughter said, "Father, go out and explain what happened. They will believe you because you are an honest man." But he replied, "How can they believe me when I can hardly believe it myself? I don't have the courage to face them." His daughter tried to help him by giving him all the gold she owned. "Sell this, father," she said. "Perhaps it will help." But it wasn't nearly enough to pay back the large debt. Abū Safwān was like a little bird with a broken wing, unable to fly and face his problems. Finally, the angry merchants came to his house and knocked loudly on his door. Knock, knock, knock. Abū Safwān came out, trembling with fear. They took him by the hand and went to the city's wise judge to rule between them. The judge was like a big, wise owl, ready to listen and make things right. In the courtroom, Abū Safwān stood before the judge and truthfully explained the whole story. One of the merchants shouted angrily, "He is a liar, Your Honor. He wants to steal our money." But the judge looked into Abū Safwān's eyes and saw sincerity and sadness. The judge then said, "Abū Safwān, I will give you 3 days to return the money to its owners." Abū Safwān asked worriedly, "But how can I leave this place? Who will guarantee that I will return?" The judge surprised everyone by saying, "I will be your guarantor. I see an honest man in you. But do not try to run away, for I will find you wherever you go." Abū Safwān was amazed and grateful for the judge's trust. He left the court, sold his shop, and sold everything he owned, but he could only gather a very small part of the required amount. He was like a little ant trying to carry a big, heavy leaf, but not giving up. On the third and final day, Abū Safwān could have easily run away where no one would ever see him again. But he thought to himself, a promise is a precious trust, and a true man does not run away from his responsibilities. The judge trusted me, and I will never betray his trust. Abū Safwān took the small bag of money, returned to the court, and stood bravely before the judge. He was like a little lion, small but full of courage. The judge asked him, "Why did you return, Abū Safwān, even though you didn't have all the money and could have escaped?" Abū Safwān replied with confidence, "Because trust is precious, Your Honor. and an honorable man does not run. You trusted me, and I could never betray someone's trust." His words were like a beautiful song, touching everyone's hearts. The judge smiled a big smile, very proud of Abū Safwān. He turned to the other merchants and said, "Look at this honest man. He has proven that his honor and his word are more valuable to him than his freedom and money." When the merchants heard Abū Safwān's words and saw his sincerity, they felt ashamed for doubting him. They said in one voice, "Forgive us, Abū Safwān. We were wrong about you. Keep this money for now and pay us back the rest when God provides for you. Your trustworthiness is more precious to us than all the money." And so, everyone learned that honesty and integrity are the greatest treasures a person can possess. And a good name is worth more than anything in the world. Abū Safwān's story spread far and wide, like a beautiful rainbow after a storm, reminding everyone of the power of honesty and courage. From that day on, Abū Safwān's shop became the busiest in the market. People came from far and wide to buy from him, not just because of his goods, but because of his honesty. His friends helped him rebuild his business, and soon he was able to pay back all the money he owed. Abū Safwān's daughter was so proud of her father. She would often sit by his side in the shop, watching him with shining eyes as he treated every customer with kindness and honesty. She learned that being truthful, even when it's hard, is always the best way. The judge who had trusted Abū Safwān became a close friend. He would often visit the shop, not to buy anything, but to enjoy Abū Safwān's company and wisdom. "You taught us all a valuable lesson," the judge would say, patting Abū Safwān on the back. As for the tricksters who had cheated Abū Safwān, they were eventually caught and brought to justice. But when asked if he wanted them punished, Abū Safwān surprised everyone by saying, "Let them go. Maybe my forgiveness will teach them the value of honesty." Years passed, and Abū Safwān grew old. His beard turned white and wrinkles appeared on his face, but his eyes still sparkled with the same honesty and kindness. People in the market would point him out to their children, saying, "Look, that's Abū Safwān the trustworthy. Be like him when you grow up." And so, dear children, remember Abū Safwān's story. When you face a big problem, don't hide like a turtle in its shell. Be brave like a lion, honest like Abū Safwān, and face your problems. Trust is more precious than gold, and a good name is worth more than all the riches in the world. Next time you're tempted to tell a lie to get out of trouble, think of Abū Safwān. Remember how he chose to be honest, even when it was very hard. And remember how his honesty turned his biggest trouble into his greatest triumph. So, what will you do when you face a big problem? Will you hide, or will you be brave and honest like Abū Safwān? The choice is yours, but remember, honesty is always the best policy, even when it seems impossible. Be brave, be honest, and you'll find that good things will come your way, just like they did for Abū Safwān the Trustworthy.